Me, 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 me. Hey guys, it's the comic Relief Crusader, reporting on something a little bit more upbeat. Aside from all the bad news that's been going on around, Disney and everything else. Back in the 80s, when I was younger, listening to American Top 40, Casey Kasem and all that, my mom came into my room one day and said, why don't you just turn off that junk and actually listen to some classical music? Because that's pretty much where most music stems from nowadays. If you trace back, she said, back enough, classical music just turned into another genre to another genre, and that's how we ended up with rock and roll and stuff like that. And it kind of made sense. So I started listening to people like Beethoven and Mozart and Johann Strauss. And on New Year's Day, each and every year, I make it a habit to take a look at the Vienna Philharmonic the Vienna Philharmonic Orchestra that takes place on New Year's Day in Vienna, Austria. So, you grow an appreciation for classical music. Well, this brings us all the way to John Williams. And as a lot of you know, well, when it comes to music, there is none more legendary than John Williams. Some of you may or may not know, his first film composition was for You Are Welcome, which was a promotional film for the Tourist Information Office in Newfoundland, created way back in 1954 for the CBC up here in Canada. So there you go. Helped launch his career there up in the old frozen north in Canada there, eh? You're welcome. And maybe, as some of you may or may not know, he composed music for various TV programs in the same time period, including the pilot episode for Gilligan's Island, Lost in Space, and The Time Tunnel. And later on, as he progressed, he ended up writing movie scores for 1972's The Poseidon Adventure. I remember that when I was a kid, and that was when I was younger. It was like, ooh, scary, right? And also 1974's The Towering Inferno, which was also an excellent movie. I would highly recommend also watching that. And then, back in 1974, he ended up getting a really big break thanks to Steven Spielberg. Spielberg approached Williams to compose the music for his directorial debut, The Sugarland Express, and then obviously teamed up again a year later for Jaws, Spielberg's second film. And then, of course, goes on to bigger and better things with George Lucas's Star Wars and Indiana Jones and a slew of other movies after that. So there's no debating how awesome and how great John Williams is. So what does this have to do with manga or anime? Well, John Williams is now, being in his 90s, going to provide the soundtrack for Ao No Orchestra anime. Now, if some of you haven't heard of this manga yet, probably you soon will, if you are into manga and or anime. And if not, if you are at least a music fan and love John Williams, I would definitely recommend checking out this manga or anime. It is an adaptation of the manga Ao No Orchestra. And yesterday, Shogakukan's Manga 1 and Ursa Sunday's deputy editor, Kobayashi Sho, announced via Twitter that Makoto Akui's popular youth manga is going to be getting an anime adaptation. As you can see right here, from the manga publisher, being shocked and announcing that it's going to be soon being made into an anime. What it is, it's a collected so far in 9 volumes, and it's currently boosting over 3.5 million copies in circulation, and that's including digital on top of that. It's a powerful music-centric manga about a violin prodigy, Ao No Hajime, who quit playing violin when his professional violinist father left the family for reasons unknown currently. So, feeling abandoned and seeing his mother, heartbroken by his father who taught him the love of playing violin, Hajime kept his love for the violin and music and locked away in his father's abandoned studio. So, that was until his homeroom teacher, Takade Sensei, introduced a new transfer student to him, Akane Ritsuko, an aspiring violinist who Takade asks Hajime, I hope I'm not butchering these Japanese names, to basically teach him. Eventually, through Rikutsuko's sounds, he discovers his own love for the violin as well as his sounds. So, subsequently, picking up his violin for the first time since his father left him and playing for several hours, he decides to follow Takade's advice and join the high school's orchestra award-winning club. The story goes on from there, basically. So, in addition, Sho is excitedly announced that John Williams has signed to do the score on the anime. So, if you grew up listening to this, I would highly recommend watching the anime when it comes out. Maybe even read the manga. God knows comics are taking a nosedive, and as everybody knows, manga's picking up. So, with this unexpected move, one has to wonder in the future if Sho is referring to seeing more high-profile Hollywood composers work on anime. Never know. So, what do you think of the recent announcements? Have you had a chance to read the series? Sound off here on my channel, The Comic Relief Crusader, or on my Twitter at Mike Lorber, and leave a comment below, subscribe, and like. And this is The Comic Relief Crusader. Talk to you guys later. Hey guys, Comic Relief Crusader here. Guess what? I got a store because I'm such a big nerd. Well, at least right now you can get a bunch of posters and stuff like that because, again, I'm a big nerd. And you can get this mug. It's a nice mug. Was Thanos right? Probably not. But anyway, you want to buy stuff? There it is. Click the link, and that's in the description as well. Buy some stuff. I'll keep you updated on any more merchandise that comes about. It's Comic Relief Crusader. Talk to you guys later.